Back on the Dr. William Lester Show, our call-in line, 1-800-444-TALK. 1-800-444-TALK. Let's try it again. Let's go to Tucker. Hello.
Hey, who was that dumb Jap just called up here?
Sir, that is that kind. No, sir, we're not going to have that kind of racially tinged language.
Well, that sounded like he was Oriental, uh, uh, talking about some Godzilla movies and all this kind of stuff. Uh, it's a hell of a thing. Uh, he was a disoriented Oriental. Anyway, I've seen all those movies. You got Godzilla, you got Rodan, and you got King Kong, and you got Mothra, and you got all these and the monsters, and it's always and it's always the Japs in these movies.
Sir, I need to let you know that the term Jap is a decidedly offensive term.
Or are you Japanese?
No, sir, I'm not.
Then why would you think it's an offensive term?
I don't think you have to be Japanese to understand that that term is offensive.
Well, that's what he was. He was a Jap.
Sir, I'm going to ask you one more time not to use that term.
Well, young man, this is the United States of America, and I have a right to use any language I want to use.
Yes, sir. You do have the right to use absolutely any language that you want to use, but you don't get to use it on my show. Okay? Now, I'm tired of people saying ridiculous, absurd, inflammatory things and then ducking and running behind the Constitution for cover. Okay? Now, freedom of speech does not mean that you can say whatever the hell you feel like saying. Okay? The original intent of the freedom of speech was to guarantee citizens the right to criticize and critique the government without fear of government reprisal. It was never intended for people to make incendiary remarks. Okay? And so, anytime I hear somebody, honking about their freedom of speech, is usually after they've said something that they don't have any business saying.
Well, here we go again with some more of this liberal talk. I got enough of that last week. I was on with you last week. You probably remember talking about Tony.
Yeah, this is Mr. Reese, JB Reese. You were on last week talking about your daughter Kathy and how you forbid her to marry Tony, who's an African American young man. I remember, and I was very disappointed in your attitude, and it does not surprise me at all that you would call up and the first thing out of your mouth is a racially charged a word.
What does that mean, racially charged?
A word that is offensive to a specific ethnic group.
You mean Jap?
Yes, sir, I mean that word.
Well, like I said, you're not Japanese. I'm damn sure not Japanese, so I don't know why the term Jap should be offensive.
Sir, I'm going to try not to lose my temper with you. I told you last week that I wholeheartedly disagree with your racial attitudes, and
well, whether you agree with my racial attitudes or not, don't mean a damn thing to me. I just wanted to call in. I was listening to your show. I found it very strange. You had I guess it was a woman. Some kind of was she a dyke?
Sir, don't use that word.
Well, she was a lesbian. She was a I don't know what the word. I heard a couple of boys on the construction site. They said carpet much.
Sir, why can you have a conversation without offending every possible member of society? I mean, so far you've used the term Jap, you've used the term dyke, and now you're talking something about a carpet muncher. I don't think that can't we elevate?
Well, I'm just noticing that just the deviant types that are attracted to your show, and I just wanted to call in and I did appreciate you having me on last week, and Kathy says hi, and
Well, you tell her I said hello, and tell her to, good luck with her continued studies. I know she's just about finished.
yeah, she's still doing that graduate work. She just about finished up, but man, you're having some real strange callers tonight.
Well, I have to agree with you there.
Don't get smart. Don't get sarcastic, because I guess you're lumping me in.
Well, sir, in all honesty, yes. I mean, compared to Agnes, who called in, and the gentleman from Japan, Mr. Takazawa, you're not exactly a step in the right direction as far as my show is concerned.
Well, I didn't call up to argue with you. I just wanted to find out, who this crazy slope was.
Sir, what you know what? See, you are a racist, aren't you? You are a bigot. So, what is your problem with people of Asian descent?
I don't have a problem with people of Asian descent. I'm just using some colloquialisms that everybody's familiar with. Make sure we all know what we're talking about. And boy, I tell you, you're typical of these sensitive liberals, and they just, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. And boy, I tell you. And by the way, when you were talking to that quote woman, I heard you make a few comments about birthers, and then you started talking about people saying Obama's a Muslim, and it sounded like you got off on a liberal rant there, and look, I have some questions about the president's citizenship.
Well, sir, I don't know what else to tell you. I think that if you were not satisfied with the information that's available, I don't think you'll ever be satisfied.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, because if you're one of these so-called birthers, I don't really think I don't think you actually believe that President Obama was born in Africa. I don't really think you believe that.
Well, what makes you think you can tell me what I do and don't believe?
Well, let me tell you why. Number one, I already have a pretty good idea about your attitudes toward people of different ethnicities. Secondarily, I do believe that you're smart enough to know that the birther nonsense is just flawed and absurd, but it gives you an opportunity to kind of join the bandwagon against the president.
Think you got it all figured out, don't you?
Well, I've got that figured out. Now, by no means do I have all things figured out, but I think I have that figured out to a T.
Well, look. You know what? I gotta admit, you got me. You got me. I know the man was born in Hawaii, but I have a couple problems. Number one, his father is a black African. His mother was a white American. And I have to tell you, that goes against everything I believe. An idea that this half-breed mulatto could grow up, get a law degree at a prestigious Ivy League institution, and go on to become President of the United States simply flies in the face of everything that I hold near and dear.
Well, sir, I don't know what to tell you, except maybe you just have to take a long walk and get over yourself. Because it is what it is, and you stated the facts, And so all of the problems seem to rest with you. So,
Well, again, I guess it is hard to argue with you liberals because I don't know who it was. One of these other smart asses on cable said that reality has a well-known liberal bias, and damn it if that doesn't seem to be true.
well, well, sir, I've always said people are entitled to their own opinion, but they're not entitled to their own facts. And so, a lot of times in politics and in society, there are people who never, ever, ever let the facts get in the way of whatever opinion it is they want to put out there.
Well, there you go again. You got me again. Because that pretty much describes all the people out there I like to look at and listen to. So I guess what I have to do now is take a knee and tell you, thank you, sir. May I have another?
Well, now you're being sarcastic.
You're damn right I'm being sarcastic, you black.
Hey, sir. All right, I had to cut him off. All right. Boy, oh boy. Well, I guess the sideshow continues. And is it a full moon tonight or what? Because, or is it just that my show just brings out the lunatic in people? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? I mean, because this is just outrageous. Why did I open the phone lines up anyway? Why did I do that? I asked for this. You know what? I asked for this. J.B. Reese. I got enough of him last week, and he calls in. Well, I guess there's nowhere to go but up. So, let's take a break and try again. It's the Dr. William Lester Show on the GameCon Radio Network.